Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video I want to show you how to play Kabalevsky's opus 39 number 15. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and make sure to give a thumbs up if you like this video. Kabalevsky's opus 39 is a great book for beginners to develop technique, style and character pieces. They are quite short, easy to learn, and they go from pre-grade 1 to around grade 1, grade 2. In this video we're going to learn number 15. Let me demonstrate it first and then I'll talk you through the difficulties. So as you could hear, this piece is again a pattern piece, and by that I mean that we've got one rhythmic pattern that is introduced in the first bar and then that keeps repeating until the end of the piece. Now this is usually interesting because on one hand you would think it's very easy because you're just playing the same thing over and over again, and how could that be difficult? There's only one kind of rhythm in the whole piece, but that's actually what makes it really difficult because you have to keep up the pattern all the way through, and to keep that even and very accurate can be quite tricky to do something over and over again without any variation. So the piece is in 3/4, we have 3 beats, 3 crotchet beats, and there's no key signature, so it's in the key of C major, no sharps and no flats, and my edition here says allegro, so fast. So let's have a look at this first bar to see what happens there, and then we're going to understand the rest of the piece. The first bar, left hand starts in the treble clef C position, right hand an octave higher. Left hand is playing C, E, F, right hand is playing C, E, F. So instantly you see that the two hands play the exact same notes all the way through, an octave apart. And that's going to make reading much easier because you only have to read one hand and the other one can follow. But what is the big difference between the two hands is that the right hand first note is delayed by a quaver or eighth note rest. So it doesn't come together with the first note, it comes a quaver after. And the counting would go like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and, because they're crotchets. And the right hand, 1 and 2 and 3 and. So it comes on the and on the second half of the beat. You can also go like this: ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, rest, ti, ta, ta. So when you put the two together, the left hand is going to start 1 and 2 and 3 and, 1 and 2 and 3 and. So left hand starts, right hand follows, and the second and the third beat come together at the same time. So this is the rhythmic pattern that goes until bar 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, until bar 9. And in bar 9, when the dynamics changes to quiet, it reverses. So the right hand is going to start and the left hand follows with the quaver rest. 1 and 2 and 3 and. So the middle line of the piece, and in the final line, the rhythm goes back to the left hand starting and the right hand going from the quaver rest. Now, once we understand this rhythmic pattern, reading the notes is very simple. It's mostly skips and steps, so a lot of position changes all the way through, but if you follow the finger numbers, there shouldn't be anything difficult in playing the actual notes. Now, the difficulty comes from the articulation. So what we see in every single bar is that the first two notes are tied, it's a drop slur, and the second note bounces up on a staccato, and the third note is a staccato as well. So drop, bounce, bounce, drop, bounce, bounce. And when the right hand joins in, drop, bounce, bounce. So you need to connect to the staccato note instead of doing it like this. You can't separate the first two notes which are connected by the slur. And once we get the rhythm right, 1 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and this stays the same all the way through, so drop slur ending on staccato and the third beat is staccato. And these are the biggest challenges of the piece, keeping this rhythm very steady, making sure the quaver rest is always there, it's nice and even, and you have the staccatos and slurs in place. Once you mastered all of these difficulties, then have a look at the dynamics. The first line is going to be loud, forte. And once we move to the second half, or the middle part of the piece where the right hand starts, it's going to go quiet. And when we get back to the final part where the left hand takes on again the starting beat, it goes back to loud, which is a repetition of the first line with a little bit of change in the final two bars. So these are the key points in making this piece very efficient and perfect in the end. And two more things that I would say about the technical aspect of this little study is that the hands need to be very light, very curved, and the wrist has to be very flexible. These are finger staccatos, so we don't need too much up and down motion. We need more flicking motion. So I'm kind of flicking the keys instead of going very strongly up and down. We don't need so much motion. We need lightness and we need agility in the wrist as well and letting everything move freely. So don't hold the hands very stiff. The second thing is this position change, which you have to practice knowing where the hands go and they move parallel. So whenever the right hand is changing position, the left hand is changing position as well. So here's the first position, C position. And then we reach up to the A and back to the C position. Back to the A, back to the C. So there's a little bit of stretching going up and down throughout the piece, and you have to be very careful to use the right fingers and to be able to jump very quickly without stopping anywhere. If you have any more questions about number 15, make sure to leave your questions in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, subscribe for more.